Here with head coach Corey Gipson, the Demons heading to Rice on Saturday and then following that up with a trip to Baylor. And then it's Christmas break, hard as that is to believe. But coach, this kind of feels like the song. You don't want this night to end. You want this role to keep going. You want to keep playing because your guys are they're playing very well right now.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words. You know, we sort of play against ourselves and not the game. We had a very good practice today, and I think right now Rice is currently playing as you and I go through this interview. So we got a chance to scrimmage a little bit today in practice and continue to work on ourselves. And I'm sure Rice, you know, the game that they're playing today, they're going to play with the same intensity and focus they always play with. They have a very good ball club, and we know what we're in for when we get down to Houston.
Well, it's going to be the same thing for you guys. It doesn't matter. We've talked about it, whether it was OBU, which is a Division II team, whether it was number 15, TCU. Somewhere in the middle, probably closer to TCU, is Rice. But I know your approach doesn't change.
It does not. You know, our values will remain intact. We know how we go about each and every game, and our guys are continuing to grow and how they retain information and how they study film. And so we really feel good about moving forward with the program.
As we talk about this good start you're off to, and we're not going to focus too much on that because you're not somebody that wants to live in the past. One of the big reasons I think you guys have had success, and you in your first year, we've talked about the new roster, but there's a lot of guys you were already familiar with, no more so than your three tri-captains, Isaac Haney, Jamonte Black, and DeMarcus Sharp. We've talked about them, you and I have at length, and how you could turn the practice over to them. So we know what they're like on the court, but their relationship off the court very much, I think, epitomizes and symbolizes what you want your team to be about.
They get it. You know, when you graduate to a captain in a program, I mean that means that you're a true extension of the coaching staff. They never take a day off. They never look for a reason to take a day off. And if you'd have saw them in our scrimmage today, I mean, you would have thought we were in the Final Four. Because they have that type of approach, everybody else on the roster has to follow suit. And we have some other guys that are graduating to that. You know, they have that approach each and every day, but they had it, you know, they've been had that mentality. But we have some guys that are growing and maturing and are close to operating to a captain status, and in due time they will be.
Before practice the other day, there was a lot of laughing about who's the better defender between the three. And I think that kind of when you get to the off the court stuff with those guys, that's kind of, again, a brotherhood. You can pick on your brother, but you know, at the end, it's love, but it's also a healthy competition that they share, even if it's taking charges or, you know, I think DeMarcus said that, you know, Black's taking two and suddenly he's the charge king. So it's good to see that kind of relationship too.
Hey, when you have players in your program talking about who wants to be Defensive Player of the Year, that's when you know you're going in the right direction. You know, we have the guy, I believe, that lead the league in blocks. We have the guy that lead the league in steals. I believe we have the guy that leads the league in taking charges. We have the Defensive Player on the Year on this roster, okay? It doesn't matter what anybody else think or say. We have the Defensive Player of the Year right here at Northwestern State. Now, it's up to the person on our roster to solidify it, okay? Because whoever solidifies it, whoever leads us in charging or leads us in steals or leads us in blocks, that's who we're going to nominate. But we got to, at the end of the day, because it's such a race for it, which is a good race. It's a good race. And so we're so fortunate to have guys that want to be the defensive player of the year and represent the Southland.
Well, we've talked about defense, we've talked about offense, we've talked about playing Rice. We'll briefly pivot ahead to Baylor because it's going to be a quick turnaround. A lot of Texas travel time in this trip. Again, it's always for you. It's about Northwestern State. And this is just going to be yet another test in a non-conference full of them.
Baylor is so far ahead that I can't even really process them right now. Rice is such a good ball club. They're so well coached. The players are fundamentally sound. They do a good job of making the three ball the equalizer, and they have a guy that's one of the best passers in the country. I mean, he already has over 50 assists. So we got our work cut out with Rice. But we still have our work cut out with Northwestern State, too. I really felt like my staff felt like we got better today. We got to get better again tomorrow, and then we'll dive in on Rice on Saturday.
We've talked about growth. We've talked about the process. Jordan Wilmore is a guy that has been through this process. He is in the process. It's an ongoing process. But the way he played Saturday, again, something you keep harping on with this team is work while you wait. Continue to work. It will pay off. It paid off for him. 8 big rebounds. Still not sure how he didn't get a three-point play out of one of them, or an opportunity for a three-point play, but it looked like, I won't say the lights come on, but production matched the work.
Yes. Jordan Wilmore has the potential to be a defensive juggernaut. There's a reason why he's currently leading the league in block shots. You know, and then even when he doesn't block a shot, he's altering a shot because of his length, okay? And then when people try to go through him, they realize he's a brick wall. And then rebounding wise, you know, Jordan has really focused on rebounding out of his area. You know, he's starting to chase balls now. He's always been great at batting balls to his teammates. Now he's chasing balls. So, you know, we have so many guys on the roster that are continuing to grow into what they do best and being all-stars in their role.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.